What's the first things you worked hard for? Warning, the younger generation may be offended by my answers. This is my online toolbox providing weekly quick tips and reminders in all facets of online marketing with the objective to helping you grow your business with more quality leads. And we run into a challenge with working with younger folk in marketing, and they'll say that they're working hard for their clients, and it hit us that the terminology of working hard may be distorted by generations. So what we want to do is ask you, what's the first things you worked hard for? And what we're going to do today is introduce a little bit about the My Online Toolbox background and how I got started and my perception of working hard and how it's applicable towards my business model today. So when I got started, when I was younger, this is around what I look like at 12 years old. That's not me, but we did walk around with these little carts. I was working with what's called a penny saver route up in New York, where we were delivering these. It was like a local paper delivered once a week that had coupons about all the different stores and what was going on locally, but it was a real small paper and got paid very little, but it was very common to see kids going up and down the block delivering these papers called the penny savers. And I was aspiring to get my first stereo, which is on the right hand side. At the time, those type of stereos, which those meters are on the left that you see, it was really cool because the first stereos of having speakers on the left and on the right and having music that went back and forth, it was a different type of sound that was entering the market, and I couldn't wait to get my first stereo. I had to work hard in order to accumulate the cash to get it. As time went by, I got a little older, was able to get my first paper route, which grew to 3 paper routes. And the bike is very similar to what I had, excluding there's missing a little box up on the front of the bike where all the papers were stacked. And the biggest problem was the bike falling over as you went from house to house to walk up the stoops to deliver the paper. But throughout the years, every time it snowed, we ran out to go shovel people's driveways to pick up some cash. As soon as the seasons changed and there was some leaves falling, immediately we were raking for money. And then I was even mowing lawns for money. And this was my life. And over a 4 year period, I was able to get up enough cash to first get my stereo on the right hand side. Then I was able to get my turntable and couldn't wait to brag about playing the newest Led Zeppelin album or Aerosmith and different bands of that genre. And then I was able to get my first cassette deck, and I was able to even then get my next super speakers. And so by the time I entered college, I was obviously the party king, coming with this to be able to have great parties with some real kick butt music. But my point was, now this generation that I'm up against happens to have started where many get technology, as an example, that traditionally is too expensive up front for their age group. Usually they're too unappreciative because it's handed to them. To make matters worse, they're usually not paid for in cash. They're put right on payment plans. Come right in, you make your first deposit, and then pay it over 2 to 3 years. And then as soon as that payment plan's over, they're ready to replace it and move on to the next product. And that's the problem, where the value of working hard has been diminished from the start. So my problem, for me, in business at least, is that here I am competing with quote unquote experts in marketing, whatever that may mean. And I'm not, again, not saying that people in their 20s and 30s may not have great experience in whatever it is that they do between websites and programming and social media and whatnot. The problem is that when they learn a technology and then start promoting themselves as an expert and hardworking, a lot of times they can't even conceive working hard for a tremendous period of time to just get the first things they want, let alone multiple things they want over a period of time. So what happens is, I want to remind you that in my case, for my online toolbox, when we're helping you looking to do your marketing and focusing in on the efforts for today and tomorrow and the years later, yes, we see ourselves as experts. We are experienced. And when we say we're going to work hard for you, our perception of working hard for you is usually completely different than many of our competitors. And that's an intangible value that we like to offer our clients. What we'd like to ask you is, what's the first things you worked hard for? Please answer that. We'd love to hear what your stories are. And of course, those stories are probably going to change with the different generations. But with my online toolbox, if you're interested in anything pertaining to more quality leads, please go to the My Online Toolbox Facebook page, like the page there, and also subscribe to us on the My Online Toolbox YouTube channel, because when we say we're here to help you with our marketing experience, as well as we plan to work hard for you, we mean it. This is My Online Toolbox reminding you to start planning yesterday for next year's marketing and profits. Stay healthy. We'll see you next week, and leave a comment on what was your first jobs that you did that you worked hard for. Have a great week.